What's going on, everybody? It's a good day because the world is a better place because you are here to join us. My name is Matt Brown, and I'm the host of the Productive Conversations podcast. It is a Tuesday, the 29th of April, 2025. And let us talk about our trending topics that was going on all over the place in this crazy world of ours in the final weekend of April 2025. And before I get into the good stuff, I just want to remind you to like and subscribe to the Productive Conversations podcast on all podcasting platforms and YouTube. And don't forget to check out exclusive content regarding the show across all social media platforms. We're on Instagram at Productive Conversations Podcast, X and Twitter at ProdConvoPod. We're on TikTok at Productive Conversations and Facebook at Productive Conversations. And as always, please check out the presenting sponsor of Productive Conversations, Magic Mind. Magic Mind is the place to go for your focus to enhance, for your mentality to improve, and all in all, your life to get much better. By going to Magic Mind, by checking out Magic Mind, check out the green tea shots or the sleep aid shots or the gummies or the other various items. It is a great place to go to improve your mental health. And go check out the incredible supplements by going to magicmind.com/PCLT20 for 48% off your first subscription or 20% off your first one-time purchase. So, as we begin our discussion about what was trending in our world, let me introduce to you the people joining the conversation. It's Allison, Ryan, and Jose. Hello, everybody.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
How's everybody doing?
Excellent. So glad to see everybody.
I'm glad to see you as well.
Yeah, indeed. Long weekend. Now it's time for a longer week. We got tweet caps, so that's just gonna make it better.
You know it. And on top of this busy week, on Wednesday, we will have our sports tweet cap, a reaction to the 2025 NFL draft. To be more specific, the X's and O's. We will share some viral moments, but that will be the all football portion of that, plus some more recaps and reactions to the NHL and NBA playoffs. We got Thursday, a Magic Mind show. We will surprise you when we figure it out then. That'll be Thursday. And then we also have more exclusive, more in-depth coverage of the NBA playoffs there. And then another tweet cap for you on Friday evening. Sorry, Friday during the day, whether you listen to it in the evening, morning, or day. So let us get into the conversation right here, right now, by first doing an actual bonus clip that I'm just going to show with no context.
All right. Okay. Starting
Who
off
saw
with no
this?
prep work.
So Who's This by Rob Caper. This is the perfect mashup of wrestling and Full House. As we wait for this to load.
Look like 2009 Randy Orton. Directed by Triple H. That's funny.
Great work, right?
Good job, Rob.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I can't believe Randy looks like that now, because you heard me. I said that looks like 2009 Randy Orton, and it was Randy Orton from 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, just
so
much more jacked.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of crazy that he still looks that much the same. 2009 was, I mean, what?
2009 was 16 years ago.
Yeah, 16 years ago. Thank you for the quick math out of Matt. That's crazy.
Unbelievable, right? Now let's start with our real first topic. All right, guys, I talked to you about Sinners last week. The phenomenon that just about doubled its box office this past week, and a lot of people came in to see Ryan Coogler's magnum opus about vampires attacking a speakeasy. in 1930s Mississippi, with Michael B. Jordan with a tour de force performance, Haley Steinfeld, incredible supporting performance, with an incredible cast. It also includes Delroy Lindo. Awesome, awesome movie. You can check out more of our Sinners coverage from the tweet cap on Friday, last Friday. But there has actually been some more fun things to talk about regarding the co-stars. Like I said, Michael B. Jordan can do no wrong. We have Haley Steinfeld, who's on a great run, both in her music career and movie career, clearly. But are we seeing some sparks in the air between our co-stars? Let me show you some of the video proof of this that could possibly link these co-stars together. And let me say, is Michael B. Jordan and Haley Steinfeld, are they growing something a little more? Maybe the press tour center shows that. And how does Josh Allen feel? Haley Steinfeld's boyfriend, reigning NFL MVP and
Husband.
quarterback of the
Beyonce now, isn't it?
sorry, her
Husband.
sorry, Haley
Married.
Steinfeld's
Husband.
fiance.
Are they
They're not
married?
married yet.
No,
He
they're not
just
married.
proposed to her.
Yeah, they're not married.
Are
They're-
you sure about that?
yes.
Yeah, he just proposed this last NFL season.
Exactly. So Haley Steinfeld and Josh Allen are engaged, but then we have Michael B. Jordan, who looks like Michael B. Jordan. So let me show you some of this evidence we got here, and we'll break it down. We know Ryan doesn't believe this, but we'll see if Allison and Jose do. Look at this. Don't worry, babe. It's just acting. Oh my God, look at that. Look at that. First of all, to start, look at that smile right there. And look at her gazing into his eyes. You see
So
that
fun.
cotton? Oh,
Oh.
man. Exactly. We have Allison who feels it. So if Allison could feel it from afar, imagine being literally right next to him. Oh man, I'm feeling the love from here, and I felt it in that theater on Thursday night afternoon when I watched the film. Oh, poor Josh Allen, me. And then we also have this too, at 2 million likes alone. This is at 16 million views. Look at
Makes
the
it true.
difference. Look at the difference right here. Look at this. Did you just see that smile? You just saw. Did you just see that blushing? Let me restart
saw
that
it.
real quick.
Or smile.
I saw blushing. Allison, please break this down when you see. Look at right here. Look at where my cursor is. Look at that blush. Oh my God. I couldn't pause
Yeah,
it
she
fast
has
enough.
blush on her face from like
Yeah.
makeup.
No, she has blush
did
from
already.
emotion. So
No,
let's
I
see
don't
this
believe
here.
that's correct,
Watch
but-
the rest of the video, please. Look at that blush. Look at that smile. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Gotta show it again. Oh, she can't even look at him, as you can see right here. Ethan Hawke with two other people. Oh man, you saw that gaze. Look how happy she is. Oh my goodness. And poor Shamik Moore, co-star from from Spider-Man, just not feeling it, huh?
Absolutely.
Man, you can't deny it. There's some sparks right there.
I'll say this.
She
She
has to pick
definitely
bet-
likes him more than Spider-Man.
Man,
Like,
she has
that's
to
true.
pick
I'll give you
between
that, Matt. It's very clear.
She has to pick between an NFL MVP and Michael B. Jordan, A-list
I think she's
movie
already
star.
picked.
Josh Allen's a good guy.
Yeah, too good.
She's not with Michael B. Jordan.
You saw
She's not
what I
leaving
saw.
Josh Allen for Michael B. Jordan. Yeah, I saw
You
that she
watch.
liked one of her coworkers better than a different one of her coworkers.
You watch.
Let's be honest.
I don't believe
Michael B. Jordan just smash and go. So,
What is
Could
the
be,
honesty?
maybe.
You, Matt, let's be honest, says something completely fabricated.
he would smash
That's
and go.
based on nothing.
He would just smash and
Oh,
go.
he
What do you
would.
mean?
Maybe, yeah. I'm not
What do
saying
you
he
mean,
wouldn't.
really?
I'm just saying we can't sit here and pretend they know that they did that. We have no
I
idea
don't know
what
if
they
they
did or
did
did not
that,
do.
but the question was, would they be in a relationship? I said no. He'll smash and go and give it right back to Josh Allen. So it's
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
You know what? Fairness. That's probably true. I don't believe it'll be a relationship either. If
Wait a
anything
minute.
happened,
Hey, yo.
You guys think he's a hit it and quit it type of guy? I do not get those vibes.
oh,
I think
you're
with-
bugging. He
I think
definitely is.
well, I think especially if they decide to,
beautiful.
If they decided to get together, given her upcoming marital, situation, I can't
Let it
imagine
all
he
out
would.
before
Yeah, I can't
he
imagine
ties
he
it
would be
down.
seeking a long-term arrangement. It would be a quick thing. I mean, I don't know about quick, but it would be a short thing. I don't think he would come in and be like, "Oh yeah, let's leave your fiance for me." That being said, I don't believe that they've done anything together. I think they're just coworkers who get along. But that's what I see. So we'll see. Again, true. When you compare it to the Spider-Man, yes, there was no chemistry between the two of them. Correct. But this guy, I mean, one, he's just more charismatic, right? Michael B. Jordan, just generally speaking, than her previous co-star. And two, they must like each other better, which then doesn't mean, in a way
Can we be
inappropriate.
can we be honest? She probably never met the Spider-Man dude unless his interviews. They're freaking
Right.
in booths all day. So I
Yeah,
mean,
exactly. The first time they probably met was literally on the press tour.
yeah.
And, he was crushing on her the whole time, as we all know, very, very, very openly. We talked about it on this show, the four of us, actually. So, yeah, no wonder she was not a fan of him in comparison,
No girl likes a thirsty boy.
right?
If Michael B. Jordan ever thirsted over me, it's over. I don't care what I'm doing. We're going.
I mean, I feel like that's because people would, I agree, a lot of people would agree with you, but I think it's because, frankly, he doesn't probably thirst over anyone.
Right, exactly.
He's Michael B.
He doesn't
Jordan.
need to.
Right. So that's why girls would be like, "Oh my God, I got him, I got him so like whatever thirst. He's thirsting for me." And the reason they're like that is because he doesn't thirst for anybody. So if he did, that would be like, wow. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't give off the vibe of somebody who's seeking attention, right? I think attention finds him and he decides what to do with it. That's how I see it anyway. And
Right.
honestly, she's
Yeah.
probably super similar. If
I
we're
don't
being
think there's
honest.
anything
Yeah, right.
going on. I
I don't either. I agree.
Oh man,
I
I
think
don't know
Matt
when you
wants
see
there
when you see lines like this.
They're acting.
We see lines like this. I don't know. Sometimes a
Mm-hmm.
little stronger.
It's their
Jose knows
job.
what I'm showing. Jose knows what I'm talking about.
It's their job.
So you rob trains and banks, but you can't steal this pussy for a night.
You just unlocked. He's finally gonna beat Mahomes in the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Seeing that.
This is
Seriously, watch that before every single game.
Yeah, he's gonna, what's it called? He's either gonna get a career-ending injury now or win the Super Bowl because he's gonna play extra hard, right? No. I mean, honestly, hey, can't steal. That's right, can't steal it. Why? Josh has got it locked down potentially. Who knows?
Come on.
Unbelievable.
If anybody can steal
I
it,
guess
Michael B.
she
Jordan.
knows.
That's true. That is definitely true. If anybody can steal anybody's girl,
I also
it is
did.
him.
I've not
Josh
once denied
worships
that. By the way,
her. He like literally does, and you can just tell he's so in love with her, and he's a good guy. So
Josh
Yeah, that's
Allen.
yes,
Well, wait till Michael
the
B.
dude
Jordan
had
comes
a
in.
bye week, and instead of like just relaxing and chilling, this dude planned this whole big like proposal, and it was so romantic. It was so beautiful, and she was so happy. And then them just after it was
And then
so
Michael
cute.
B. Jordan pulled up.
Yeah.
That's
year
it. That's all it
later.
takes. That's all it takes.
yeah, no, I don't believe that. Again, I don't believe anything to the Michael B. Jordan bit. But I will say, to Jose's point, if someone was gonna do it, if someone could steal an NFL quarterback's girl, it is probably him. I think that's true. I'll give you like I'll fact check that true. I just don't think that that's what's happening here.
What they need to do is just put a fucking DVD of Creed on. You can
Yeah.
pick which one, and then that's it. It's a wrap. You're done.
Right.
Again, I think it's probably not that deep, as they say.
So we had the NFL draft over the weekend. And as I mentioned, we will have a complete sports tweet cap released for you tomorrow, regarding the NFL draft and reacting to that with the great Alec Reeves. So I swear everybody was aware of the Shedeur Sanders saga in the 2025 NFL draft. Shedeur Sanders, quarterback coming out of the University of Colorado, was selected 144th overall and was picked in the 5th round by the Cleveland Browns. Now, Shedeur Sanders coming out into the draft was projected to be a top 5 pick or definitely a first rounder. I personally didn't think that was the case. I personally think his draft slot, where he got drafted, kind of justifies the player he is. Speaking of, from going only 13-12 against Power 5 schools when he was at the University of Colorado, bro had an arm but was not accurate whatsoever. Bro relied on the Heisman Trophy winner Travis Hunter a lot. Though I did not think he I don't think he can't play in the NFL. I just think a 5th round pick is perfect for him. So amongst that, so many different things happen with Shedeur getting drafted. Let me first show you him getting selected live on a Twitch stream. This is him when he found out. On the 3rd day of the NFL draft instead of the 1st day like he thought. There he is right there. Yay. All right. So we have that, got a reaction. And genuinely, that's awesome. Somebody's having their dream come true. So amongst that, right? So many directions I could go. First, why don't we first talk about the now infamous prank phone call that took place the day before, where we had defensive coordinators Jeff Ulbrich of the Atlanta Falcons. His son was able to get the phone number of Shedeur Sanders simply because he left his phone, his laptop out,
or whatever, yeah.
Took the number, sent it to his friend who actually made the call, and this is what happened there, a prank phone call. Now, one of the most famous prank phone calls of all time. So this was the Friday, the 2nd day of the draft.
Hey, is this Shedeur? Hey, this is Mickey Loomis here, the GM of the New Orleans Saints. How you doing? This is Mickey Loomis here, GM of the Saints.
How you doing?
Good, how are you, man?
Good, been waiting on you.
Yeah, we have. It's been a long wait, man. We're going to take you with our next pick right here, man.
This ain't gonna be nothing to you.
Hey, but you're going to have to wait a little bit longer, man. Sorry about that.
What a dick.
What does that mean?
What?
What a dick. And yeah, he only got the phone for the draft and then, pointing out why people don't like frat dudes with a perfect example like that. And he actually released an apology, even if it was an AI apology, which it was proven there. On Friday night, I made a tremendous mistake, Shedeur, and he spelled his name wrong in this apology. It's Shedeur here.
Shedeur.
What I did was completely inexcusable, embarrassing, and shameful. I'm so sorry I took away from your moment. It was selfish and childish. I could never imagine getting ready to celebrate one of the greatest moments of your life, and I made a terrible mistake and messed with your moment. Thank you for accepting my call earlier. I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me. And then tagged here in a different and he tagged the wrong person. Same with another person, Stephen A. tagged
Stephen
the
A.
wrong
Smith
person.
also did that, I will say.
And last but not least, amongst, Shedeur not getting drafted, a lot of people wanted to throw conspiracies out. They wanted to make it a race thing, despite the number 1 pick being a black quarterback. So, throw that crap out. That's people literally making nonsense out of no reason. Or you could, crash out and go crazy like Mel Kiper did all weekend, the ESPN analyst. And I have it right here. His biggest crash out from the weekend.
Yelling at the NFL about it. It's not a quarterback. Boomer Esiason was not happy when he was the second round pick. Tom Brady's not happy. They Nobody's arguing that can happen. The NFL has been clueless for 50 years when it comes to evaluating quarterbacks. Clueless. All that, no idea what they're doing in terms of evaluating quarterbacks.
This guy thought Mitch Trubisky was going to be a elite quarterback, by the way.
Exactly. Bro's just screaming for no reason. One of my favorite tweets from Andrew Filipponi. Mel Kiper, for 50 years, the NFL had no idea how to evaluate quarterbacks. And he writes, bro, you rank some guy named Forrest Lamp ahead of Patrick Mahomes. Literally. So, yeah. While I do
That's
agree,
crazy.
and I've heard a lot of people say the quarterback position is the most mismanaged position and trying to find one. Because,
Sure.
well, how many times we've seen quarterbacks who didn't do shit in college become stars. And yeah, that's the whole Shedeur Sanders nonsense in a nutshell. And yeah, like I said, for me, I think he was perfectly drafted where he should be. And then just rumors about him not being prepared for interviews, not bothering to show up to the NFL Combine, barely having a pro day, as I mentioned, messing up interviews, coming off arrogant and cocky. And it cost him. And I mean, he's going to be fine.
He's mentioned that.
And he did say he could have definitely handled the process better. So, hey, take your lesson and actually apply it. And I don't think it was collusion or a race thing like other people try to make it. I'm pretty sure just media outlets said, come up with something. But maybe they really did felt that strong, but you're crazy if you did. So a lot of stuff right there. Where do you want to take it? First, I ride with this.
Yeah, I will say this. I mean, I didn't think first round. Frankly, I didn't think any quarterback besides Cam Ward should have gone in the first round. I think that Jackson Dart going in the first round was a bit crazy, and I think that was the thing that started the. I mean, I'm happy for the Giants. They did need a quarterback, of course, but I don't think he's gonna play like that. I mean, you never know, right? But so I think that's what started it. Was just like a random idea. Like, yeah, everyone knew Cam was first, and then nobody really knew anything after that. And so then when number 2 went in the first round and be like, okay, this is not a strong quarterback class. Then the next guy who went was no offense to Tyler, whatever, Schaff,
Tyler
whatever his
Shuck
name. Not
from
Schuff or whatever, right? Yeah, it doesn't
from
matter.
Louisville.
Yeah. He hasn't played a full season, I don't think, ever. And he's had like 12 of them.
And there's that clip of him literally throwing the ball to the ground at the combine.
Right, and he was the only guy who went in the second round. So, like, after the second round, I was like, okay, surely Shedeur's up. And then still no Shedeur. And I'm like, all right. That, to me, dropping 2 rounds from the quote-unquote prediction, I think made sense because the prediction was all media hype. But every time they drafted a quarterback after that, it really probably could have been Shedeur. And I think that might have more to do with the behavior stuff than anything. Like, Jalen Milroe was not particularly impressive this year. Dylan Gabriel, who's now Shedeur's teammate, also not particularly impressive. Right, also not particularly impressive in college this last year. The team he was nothing special. So yeah, I do think he was drafted a little low, not crash out Kiefer low. Like, you know what I mean? Like that was crazy work. And also, like, we talk a lot about this kid who ruined Shedeur's draft, and he did, and it was messed up that he did. But let's just take a step back. Only thing anyone talked about this entire draft was Shedeur Sanders. He was the only person who got any coverage. Every time someone got drafted, Mel, of all especially, was talking about how it should have been Shedeur. And I'm like, you want to talk about people ruining someone's big moment? Think about everyone else who got drafted before Shedeur Sanders, which, by the way, was most people.
Yeah, 143 of them.
Yeah, none of them got their due time because everybody spent all of that time talking about, oh my God, I can't believe it's Shedeur, or see, this is why it wasn't Shedeur. Like, everybody wanted to talk about Shedeur Sanders, and they took away the draft. I think realistically, one of the only people who got their just desserts are the top 5, because I think people were maybe surprised he wasn't number 5, but like whatever. shit happens, right? So top
Yeah.
5, everyone's like, oh, Shedeur fell out of the top 5. That's crazy. Then every person after that, the entire story was, why wasn't that pick Shedeur Sanders? That was the entire draft for everyone else. It was crazy. And ESPN should be ashamed that they did that. And if I'm a competitor, I'm talking like a Barstool or even the Ringer, somebody, I'm setting up camp outside of someplace big, having a block party and covering the draft myself next year. Because guess what? People will watch. Because I think people, even people who don't love Shedeur or who do love, like no matter where you were, I think everybody is kind of fed up with the way that ESPN handled that because it wasn't right. They did not handle it correctly to the point where they called it out on air. Other people on air called their coworkers out for the way that they were covering this particular draft.
And even
Shame
Cam
on them.
Ward, the number 1 pick, they missed his moment on ESPN because they were
'cause they were
focused on
showing
Shedeur.
Yeah.
And you saw that clip of Cam and
Dude,
Shedeur
they
practicing.
unretired a number for Cam Ward.
Yeah, that's stuff like
Yeah,
that
I
is
did see that
exactly
clip,
why. But yeah, where Shedeur and Cam
Whose fault is
between
that?
them. Whose fault is
Shedeur.
Shedeur not getting drafted
fault?
high?
It's his
I
fault.
would assume Shedeur.
Yeah, it is Shedeur's fault. He
I
could
would
have been
assume
better.
it's Shedeur's fault. Yeah.
You know, there's only you're like saying 143 players didn't get their due. You know the one player that's gonna get it the worst everybody? Who was the quarterback that Cleveland picked first?
Dalen
From
Gabriel.
Michigan.
Gabriel.
That motherfucker is gonna get it the worst because
Or
he's
Oregon,
probably
Yeah.
he's the guy from he's gonna probably be the second string, and all you're gonna hear during preseason game is Shakur the whole fucking time.
He's the most famous third string quarterback right now.
I would assume he's fourth string.
He's
wouldn't
not even
he?
third. He's 5th string.
Yeah, something
With
like that.
with
Yeah.
Watson hurts, but
You
yeah.
got Joe Flacco.
Oh yeah, you're right. Flacco, Pickett,
Blackout.
Yeah.
Gabriel,
But yeah,
and
Joe
Shedeur.
Flacco, Kenny
Yeah.
Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur, and then Watson is on the team but hurt and also, a fiend, so probably not going
Yeah.
to play. But
So
oh,
he gets
Allison
it.
liked that. He's a fiend. That was the PG way of saying what Deshaun Watson was doing.
And the
He
only
was
reason
fiending
why,
with Justin Tucker.
and I don't blame Shador going down. Like I don't blame the owners putting him in the 5th round. Anyway, I
Yep.
agree with them.
I don't either. I'm more upset with ESPN the way they treated 143 other people
Right.
because they didn't get Shedeur as the first round.
Well, everybody at ESPNs are all dumb virgins. They don't know like how they manage the
sure.
rosters.
I agree, except Scott Van Pelt. That's my boy.
Yeah. You put Shakur had mad baggage. You treat him like a woman. Mad fucking baggage, and he goes down the
Like
roster.
a
He
woman.
goes.
What the heck does that mean?
Yeah,
Like a
I'm
woman.
curious what you meant by that, Jose.
Like a
I'm
woman
just saying,
quarterback. There's never been one. That's
okay. If you have a roster and she
Yeah.
got mad baggage outside what's supposed to be just between you, she's my Tuesday night, and now
why
my
is it a
Tuesday
she?
night is getting
Is it
fucked up.
he?
Well, I'm saying if you treat her like a woman, so it'd be a she
Shedeur
at
is
this
he,
moment. Listen to me. I ain't going that route. So
I don't
she
understand why we're treating it like a woman.
would because I'm trying to explain to you, like now she become my Tuesday
I'm
night,
listening.
which became a prime night. Now she's on a Sunday night, which is a maybe if I'm not tired. That's like if I'm not bored or some shit. That's where.
Are you
Shakur's
saying like dating roster? You're saying
yes, exactly.
okay.
Thank you.
I've caught up now. You're saying if you were
I forgot
if
your
a dating
religious
roster
beliefs.
was a football roster,
Yes.
then the squeakiest wheel would get the worst spot on
Correct.
the team. Okay.
There you go.
I think that was probably more complicated than it needed to be in terms of an
I'm
analogy,
still
but
not
I
caught up,
understand it.
but you can just move forward. It's fine.
Yeah, and also
I feel like
I
if I
said,
was caught up, I would have way more commentary on the situation, but we're gonna just keep moving.
yeah,
For the sake of
exactly.
everyone.
I just don't. It's not
You
that
want a
Basically,
easy.
he's
real
saying
crash
Shedeur was a
out?
lot, and he doesn't
Let's
like it.
go.
But regardless,
Well-
regardless though, Shedeur is properly drafted where he should be, and I'm
He's in his
surprised
shit.
Yeah, and
how shocked people were.
I mean, if he was properly drafted, he would go to fucking New Orleans. I wouldn't. I mean, I didn't see
That
what was the
I'm
whole
just saying the
fucking
5th
point?
round. I'm just saying
Oh, the
fifth round.
5th
but
round.
New-
Yeah.
exactly. It was weird the Browns
New
specifically
Orleans is truly
drafted them. Like New Orleans,
New
Pittsburgh
Orleans-
took him.
Yeah.
need him the most.
I will say Yeah, and I'll say Pittsburgh has no quarterback. That I don't. I mean, I guess it's Kirk Cousins. That's crazy to me that they didn't draft anybody, Shedeur or otherwise. And then I don't know what, and I mean this with disrespect, frankly, what the Saints were thinking.
Right.
But like, if that works out, dude, if that ends up being the right pick, then that guy, whoever drafted him, is gonna have to be just absolutely the guru.
The tackle from Oregon.
No, the
They're good
Saints
for
picked.
them.
No, I'm
Or
saying
what
the
was it?
Saints picked the second round. They picked a quarterback, which they
Oh,
desperately need.
Oh, in the second. Oh, I thought you meant
Yeah.
their first round pick.
No,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was fine. I'm saying if their second round, if picking him in the second round ends up working and that's their starter, God bless. Because I would not have ever guessed that dude would be drafted in the second round.
Yeah, you're
Probably
talking about
not
Tyler
even the
Show
fifth round.
from Louisville.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that is a strange one. But so a lot of people have reputations. And how about that prank phone call?
Not okay.
Yeah.
What
I
a
don't care.
douchebag.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not the guy's like. What's his name? Shedeur.
Yeah,
Is that how you say
Shedeur,
that?
shut
Okay.
door.
yeah. Shedeur.
Shedeur. I'm still picturing it how the guy posted on his story. I'm like, that doesn't right. I think that regardless of how much coverage he was getting, like that's not necessarily like his fault.
Right.
And I think like his moment still should have been like his moment.
Right.
And I don't think that the kid's apology was even remotely close to being sincere. And
No, of course not.
and I think he's lucky. Where did he get the info from?
His dad
His dad.
is the
Lucky his
defensive coordinator of the
dad.
Falcons.
I think he's lucky his dad still has a job.
Yeah, some
he
people
probably
were
is.
saying that he should get fired for that. And that is a
He
breach of
could-
privacy and data right there.
Huge.
Oh, yeah.
I think he is lucky his dad still has a job. And
Mhm.
if I was a parent and that was my child and I had such a pristine job and was in working in the NFL making like millions or however much I was making, and my kid potentially jeopardized that for me and my family, my parents probably would have beat my ass and kicked me out of the house. 100%.
Still has
Yeah.
Jets energy all over him, Jeff Olbrich.
Yes, he does.
But-
unfortunately for him, I was
but
going to say this. Sorry, real quick. What do you mean? I made a mistake. You didn't mistakenly call
Yeah, you
Shedeur
did.
Sanders.
You saw the laptop open, you
You sent it to
you
someone
not
to call
only
him.
took the number, you relayed it to your friend.
Dude was in the video. I should also point that out. Like
That-
that was not clear from that version, like that angle. The kid who got the number, he gave it to his friend to make the call.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
He
friend.
was sitting in the room
Right.
when the phone call was made. So it wasn't like he texted his friend like, "Yo, I got Shedeur's number," and then the friend decided to do this prank. They decided to do a prank together because
And
he
make
got
content.
Shedeur's number. Yeah. So how did you mistakenly call an NFL prospect
like
from
you
your
thought
dad's
it
phone?
through, like
Yeah.
beginning to end. You thought it through, like you thought it was going to make you big and get content and views,
Right.
and
Yeah, exactly.
you knew what you were doing. And clearly, like I said, the apology wasn't sincere, and
No, I agree.
it was. I would be I would be ashamed if I was that parent. I would.
Yeah,
I
mean,
would disown my kid. I don't care.
I wouldn't disown it. Obviously,
I would
it
disown
worked
him.
out.
Absolutely.
And
Done.
also,
I mean, it
Harsh.
worked out, right?
I mean,
also
you guys realize that the number was a burner number, right? It was only meant for that one
Yeah,
day.
but he
Exactly.
filmed himself,
filmed
doing
himself
it, right? So
he made it for content. What
that's
did he
my
expect?
point. Yeah.
Us not to?
we
not to
saw
find
him
out?
in the room when he made the call. Like there was it was a burner account. Yeah, but you filmed it, so I know it
Yeah.
was you. It was you. You were on video.
No,
doing
the
it.
Yeah.
number shook. What's your name's?
No, I get that
uh,
too. I'm just saying. Or here's the thing, and obviously this is a super specific NFL perspective, but like, so Shedeur, I believe he genuinely thought that he was going to go in the top 5.
Yeah, right.
No, I do.
I think
I
everybody
genuinely
thought that.
think he thought that was happening. And that's why he got the media machine. Because here's the thing. He did get the media machine playing a little bit. Now, they took it to their own way, and that's not his fault. But, like, he was playing with the media at the beginning to try and boost his, star power or whatever. But he really thought he was going to be top 5. So then first round ends. He has not been picked. He just lost what? How many millions of dollars? Several millions of dollars?
Oh,
When he fell out
yeah.
of the first day?
It would have been $40 million just
Right.
about if you're a top 5 pick, and it'll
Right.
make like $300,000.
Right, exactly. So every single day goes by, he has to live with the fact that the decision he made, and he did make these decisions to skip the, to skip the different times where he could show off his skills, to do the meetings the way he did the meetings with the coaches. I believe he didn't take any meetings with people who didn't have a top 5 or 10 pick. So
Yeah,
every
exactly.
day
Didn't
that
even bother.
every day that goes by, he's watching as $40 million, which he thought he had in the bag, just goes down and down and down and down. And then you get a phone call and you're like, finally, it's happening. Like you're probably in panic mode because you started at 40 million. You're watching all of that money go down. And, he had an NIL deal worth 5 mil. So he's got to the point where he's like, finally, someone is calling and then it's not real. It's some kid trying to make a joke. That's your job. That's your livelihood. If this doesn't work out, if nobody takes you, you're going to be on the practice squad for whichever team. You're going to be the Chiefs practice guy, just getting beat up and then let go when they need to free up some space to pay for somebody else next season. You know what I mean? Like the fall from grace he had even was crazy in his own mind. I'm saying, obviously, I think he was just wrong in his own evaluation. But to do that, to play with somebody who's watching their livelihood disappear in real time on TV, I think was really messed up. And again, they're kids.
Hella.
They don't see it that way, and I know they don't see it that way, which is why, again,
How old is he? The kid.
He's
the kid.
21.
21.
Okay,
They're
he's
kids.
21. Okay. So his frontal lobe doesn't develop for another like 4 years. So maybe I'll
Yeah,
get
it
it.
is also all right. And I mean,
True,
this'll
but
be
no
rude.
excuse though.
Yeah,
You're
this'll
old enough
be
to know
rude.
that that's not okay.
Well,
But
I mean,
you're
yes
right.
and no. He's got no scope to understand what was happening, in my opinion, at 21 with Rich Dad. All right, I mean, this is going to be disparaging, but he's a frat kid from Ole Miss with a rich dad. He does not understand what was happening to Shedeur Sanders, and frankly, we barely understand. The only difference is, while we're not NFL players, we've all had jobs, and we've all watched those jobs disappear sometimes, right? So, like, we got at least a little bit of an understanding of what Shedeur was going through all weekend. With 40 million was what he thought he was gonna get. And I understand that's a big number, but he started at 5 million, right? And then all of a sudden it dropped and it dropped and it dropped, and now he's at 300K, and he's gonna have to fight for the last spot on the Browns roster when they make their cuts. Like, he's gonna have to fight. They don't need 5. They don't need 5
they could
quarterbacks.
cut him. It's normal for a 5th round pick to get
They
cut.
do not need 5 quarterbacks. He could very easily get cut. So he's playing for his life now for pennies, and some kid who will probably never understand that kind of pressure, even on a small scale, because his dad is wealthy, did that. And that, I think, is what the real thing that makes me upset about it is.
Also, curious what Miz will do about it, or if they do anything.
All I know, the Falcons had to apologize, and Coach Prime was pretty quiet during this week. Have you seen? I haven't seen anything.
Of course, he was quiet
because he
was
knew.
The guy saying his son was the #1 overall pick.
Yeah, you noticed that though. I didn't really see him say much
because he was wrong.
Anything exactly too. He said at one point, "We're going to decide ourselves where Shedeur is going."
He at one point,
and you wonder why
teams, he'd say no.
Let me say no. Oh my!
That's what Coach Prime said. There's some teams I won't let him play for. Well,
yeah.
Hopefully it's
and
not
you
Cleveland.
pick and the one franchise that's even worse than the Jets, the Browns. The Lions have gotten out of that, but yeah, it's weird. And you saw the clip of how unenthusiastic the front office was.
I did
by drafting him, and
was their 5th quarterback.
Yeah, and then you see they got straight up asked, like, you did not look happy in there. It's like, don't look into that. We were just tired. Like, come on, tired.
I mean, they probably were tired, but they also.
But I'm just saying, like,
if both things
can
be true,
it's so weird. Like, did you do the pick just for the hell of it, or you actually see his potential?
Maybe they're worried about Gabriel. I could see that. Also, like, the reality is Kenny Pickett's a bad quarterback.
Right. Just
Joe Flacco's
decisions.
Joe Flacco's not going to get any younger. Like, they can't rely on him forever. So it makes sense to have Gabriel and Shedeur go at it for a while. But
arguably Dylan Gabriel's the better quarterback too. He was a Heisman. He was at one point a Heisman finalist.
So was Shedeur, right?
Well, he wasn't an actual finalist.
I thought Shedeur was one of the finalists too.
Yeah, the Heisman finalists were Genty.
Raiders.
Yes, that's a good move. It was. Sorry, the only 3 were Hunter, Ward, and Genty. Those were the 3.
Yeah, that's what.
So there you go. And all three were top 10 picks.
First round. Yep.
So,
crazy
there
how
you
that
go.
happens.
So just want to do two quick other viral moments from the NFL draft. Nothing beats what Will Campbell said from LSU. Will Campbell, he was picked 4th overall, a guard out of a guard out of LSU. He's going to the Pats, and he said this in terms of protecting his quarterback Drake May. I love this quote.
You are Mr. Louisiana, but you just got a love letter from the New England Patriots. You haven't stopped smiling since you heard your name. What's behind that smile?
Man, just all the hard work.
Congratulations.
Sorry, tackle, not a guard, tackle.
I've worked my entire life to be up here, to be able to get my name called by a franchise like New England. It means everything to me.
We can feel that. We absolutely can feel that, Will. You are brought to New England to protect Drake May. What kind of tone are you going to set on this offensive line?
I'm going to fight and die to protect them with everything I got.
That's what you want to hear.
You'll have to kill me.
I love the linemen. The linemen, whether they're a farm boy from the Midwest or a true Southern, like a Southern boy, like from the Louisiana, Georgia, Florida trenches, like Will Campbell here. Those are the best linemen that succeed.
Yeah, they got grit.
And then also, I like cornerback Maxwell Henderson, who's going to be a cornerback for the Buffalo Bills. I believe was selected 25th overall, and bro was just happy for everybody. Look at this awesome clip. Just giving everybody love. But Travis Hunter, because of Abdul Carter, he gave him a head nod. But everybody else, God damn, that's what it's all about. Look at this.
Second time they've done
there.
It's probably locked up anyway. I bet it still looks the same as when I ran away that day. Doesn't matter anyway. Let's go.
Awesome stuff.
This is the second time, because last year the Bills grabbed Keon Coleman, and he was also super just happy to be there, and he was smiling, taking
Yeah,
pictures with
that's
everybody.
right.
This is, hey, you know what? Looks like the Bills, more than anyone, have proven that interview probably goes a long way for who they pick.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Probably,
Keon
yeah, he
Coleman did
seems
well towards
nice.
the end. Yeah, I
He
loved
seems
it.
nice. Let's grab him. See what happens. We have Josh Allen, so we got at least 10 wins.
Yes, but then you have the Chiefs.
Oh yeah, that's the main problem. But
All right, guys. That's what I have for the draft there. We'll see how this all unfolds. But last thing on Shedeur, bro really has to play like Mahomes at this point. And I really am gonna be interested to see during
does.
July and August how much he's gonna get covered and how much he's gonna get glazed over.
it'd be interesting to see what happens.
All right, last football related thing, right? Where I actually had a development come out within the last 10 minutes on this. CBS Sunday Morning, Bill Belichick, now the coach of the University of North Carolina Tar Heels. Bro's
Really?
making news. Yes, he's coaching UNC. We know about his girlfriend, Jordan Hudson. We've covered those two plenty of times. But Belichick is on CBS Sunday Morning to promote a new book he's releasing. And even though the awkward stuff about Robert Kraft that was brought up and stuff, the fact that he did an interview with a ripped up shirt was weird, but no.
That was wild.
More Jordan Hudson noise was made from this CBS Sunday Morning segment, including this viral moment right here, where CBS Sunday Morning, I think, was tired of her to do this. So hear this question when asked about their relationship and how they met.
Was a constant presence during our interview. Jordan was a constant presence during our interview.
You have Jordan, right over there. Everybody in the world seems to be following this relationship. They've got an opinion about your private life. It's got nothing to do with them, but they're invested in it. How do you deal with that?
Never been too worried about what everybody else thinks. Just try to do what I feel like is best for me and what's right.
How did you guys meet?
Not talking about this.
No?
No.
It's a topic neither one of them is comfortable commenting on.
So weird. Remember, Jordan Hudson is 24 years old. Bill is now 73 years old. All right. Why the hell would you deny where you met? Well, you know what the new theory on the internet is? And it kind of made sense. And I will say, it was allegedly reported that they met on an airplane some years ago. Yet, don't you think that's an easy thing to answer and answer truthfully? But yet she had to shut that down for some reason. But some people think that at this point that she is an escort.
I was just
Like,
gonna say she's
just
young.
just like Connor from Succession. You know, just basically somebody put this out here regarding, you know, just some theories here. The fact that Bill is 73, old rich white man. We had Robert Kraft, who's had his sex worker controversies. So wouldn't it make sense that they were introduced, you know, with his alleged call girls and, you know, massage therapists doing the special happy endings? Wouldn't it make sense now? And that you had a question that was already out there before and a question that isn't that crazy, even though the weird age gap. Why didn't you just say we met on an airplane? No, we are just going to deny it. Because if I answer truthfully, you'll know the truth that I'm a call girl and this is an arranged, what's the word? Mutually beneficial relationship.
Yeah. Depending.
So,
I mean,
I want
would
to
say
know
this.
first, wait, quick.
Okay.
Jose,
Yeah.
do you think now after this, do you think it's an arranged thing now? And they just don't want to admit it?
No.
So you think this is true love, what you're seeing?
No, I think it could be a sugar baby online site. I mean,
Well, yeah, that's exact.
Well,
Yeah,
escorts
same
are not
thing, right?
sugar baby. No, sugar babies are different from escorts.
Oh my God, you're getting
Escorts, you're
paid
paying.
to fuck.
No, you're paying for her for the
Not
actions.
necessarily.
Sugar babies are like, I'm spending time with you. Bullshit. You're paying for the day or whatever. Like buying her gifts.
I'm
for
hearing apples and
company.
oranges on this one. It's the
Well,
idea of you are
no,
going to
I'm not.
use
No, I'm not.
money to
Sugar
enhance
baby.
this relationship that's not a genuine one.
No, escorted any age or whatever. Sugar babies are like 70-year-old men's like this motherfucker is with 20-year-old women's like her. Basically, come chill with me. I'll pay for your shit.
Mm-hmm.
It
That's
could be
it.
both. All right, fine. But though whether
Yeah,
it's
if she
a
was
sugar
if
baby
she was
or an
a, okay,
escort, it's
here's
the
my
idea
thing.
of this is
Cool.
just a not a
If she was
this
an
is an
escort,
arranged thing. We could both say both things are arranged, whether you're a call girl
okay,
or a
cool.
sugar
But
baby.
if she was an escort, she must not be really good because nobody's came forward to say like I smashed that shit in the back of a fucking Chinese massage parlor. Ain't nobody saying that shit. Someone would
Well,
have
there
came
was
up.
actually there was somebody
Me
she
and
dated
Ryan,
back in her
me one
50s.
time.
There was a
Huh?
relationship that one of her ex-boyfriends was like in her 50s. That has come out.
Maybe she just like fucking
Old balls?
old
Sure,
balls.
I guess.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, why
Some
wouldn't you
people
answer
could
that
be, some
question
people
though?
do.
All balls are like the same
Huh?
anyways, whether you're young or old. So who cares?
But
I mean,
you know what I
well.
mean. I'm just saying a much older dude.
Frivolly and
Yeah.
weird.
And
Weird, yes. I don't know about the same, but weird.
but why didn't she just answer the question? All right, Ryan, you had something to say?
I was gonna say it's because I think she's just unfortunately a little too cute by half. She knows it's weird that she's with him. I don't know if it's arranged or not. It doesn't really matter. But she's clearly, whether this was an arranged thing or a genuine thing, they genuinely met on an airplane, which is still weird, by the way.
Yeah.
And she's trying to control his career and therefore his earnings. She's very clearly taking on the role of like manager. for
Yeah,
him
and I have
right
two
now.
things right now on that.
Yeah. And so I think that she is not as smart as she thinks she is. She thinks that she can just shut down, any sort of questioning into their relationship. And it, again, might even not be because he's paying her. It might genuinely be this old dude I met on an airplane who is super rich. I befriended him because I wanted his money. She knows there's no version of the story, really, that makes her look good. And so her plan was to have Bill ignore it and say, we can't talk about that. But really, all that did was make
made
it
it
look like
worse.
she was a call girl. Yes. So
Yeah.
basically, she's not as good at this as she thinks she is, which is fine. Not everyone will be as good as she thinks she is. And as a result, you know, she's made herself look like she might even be engaged in current criminal activity as opposed to just what everybody already thought, which was a gold digger.
Or what
you know
if
what I
they're
mean?
just actually in love and she just is sick of asking?
Fine. I want to see a pit.
We don't need proof
Fine.
of
Why
love.
don't
I
you
would
two
say
show
this.
some
we
PDA?
don't
Hold on,
even though it's
hold
uncomfortable?
on. People don't need to express love in front of the cameras. That's ridiculous. So I would say this though, Allison, like to that perspective. Let's say that's what's happening. So she's taking on this role now as his manager, right? That's clear. We're going to see clips in a second. Good. He probably needs a manager. The dude's never been particularly media savvy. Anyway,
I will say, and
Are
also
you serious?
UNC is concerned about Belichick's 24-year-old girlfriend, Jordan Hudson, as she took on the role of Bill's manager. Quote, there's a growing sense that this could become a problem via TMZ. And also adding on, Jordan Hudson stormed out of room, delayed Belichick's CBS interview for 30 minutes. Those are just the
sure.
other two
Like I said,
developments I have.
it's clear she's taking on the role of manager for him. So, if this was a genuine relationship, they met on an airplane, they hit it off, they are dating, and they are in love. I understand what her hesitance would be to tell that story for the 962nd time. And there's an answer to that that's good for publicity, which is, I mean, the guy literally, it was a softball, frankly. The guy said, people want to know, and it's not their business, but everyone is enamored by you. That's the layup. The layup is, I get that people are enamored by us. You know, it's definitely not what a lot of folks' relationships look like, but we just, we just get each other. She gets me and I get her, and it's special when you find that. And that's it. You don't even have to actually answer the question about the where you met, because you've said that already. You talked about the airplane. You'd be like, we've talked about this, and then you go into the words that the guy just said on camera to answer your question. Now, everyone has happy. They know it's an airplane. They know you're in love. Will they believe you? No. But whatever. You've given the right answer. The only wrong answer when someone asks for something like that is to make it look like you've done something wrong by refusing to answer. So if you've done nothing wrong, whether you think it's fair or not to have to repeat the same story, you have to come up with a way to answer the question. And if you don't want to give the same story about the flight, because there's old, I remember the story. They talk about philosophy or whatever the hell they were talking about,
Yeah.
right? Like you don't want to go through that whole thing again on CBS. That's fine, but you could hint at, like, we've already talked about this, a lot, and I get that we don't look the way that most people look when you think of a relationship, and then just when you go into, but I get her, she gets me, we're good for each other, and I'm just happy to have her with me as I go through this next phase at UNC or whatever. And that would be such an easy answer. It would answer everybody's question. All the people who wanted a good result would get it. All the people like Matt who want her to be a call girl will think that anyway. And that's that. Like, you know what I mean? Like nothing changes and you move on without any sort of storm. But now this opens the door for, oh, now UNC is worried. Now this person's worried.
Yeah.
Now she was a bit much on set. If you just answer the question, and again, you're in public life, so you do have to answer questions if you sit down for a CBS interview. Like, yes, there's privacy, but if you're interviewing with CBS, you should expect questions, right? Like, that's why you're at an interview. So I think that if she's his manager, then she's not doing a very good job because she's become, frankly, his biggest scandal. And she's his manager who's supposed to be handling those, and she's not.
And I completely get why NFL teams want nothing to do with Bill, even with how close he is to the all-time record. If you want to deal with all that stuff,
I mean,
but that's
but
also
he's just he's an old timer. I don't know that he's gonna have. I don't know that he has it anymore. But we'll see how the UNC goes.
I don't think they're gonna be that as good.
No, I don't think so either. But
and then she's probably going to be the first one to be discussed about. Like, oh, you should stop hanging out with her because you can't beat Wake Forest.
Right. And that's another reason why, as his manager, she should do anything possible to make herself not the story.
Yeah, by disappearing.
I mean, no,
You can still
she's
go
just
out, but
dating him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saying you can still go out, but I'm just saying disappear from the cameras and the limelight.
Oh
Like
yeah,
you
yeah,
just
yeah.
do basketball.
Don't talk on camera at the CBS interview.
Right.
Just disappear. Okay.
Disappear. I thought you meant like cement shoes disappear, Matt. I'm like, no, I don't think so.
Don't need that.
But
So
she's
let
a
me ask you guys a question that the whole internet's debating and discussing. Do you think 100 men can beat one gorilla?
Maybe. It depends on the 100 men, surely.
Yeah.
Well, that's the big question that's gone viral. The one tweet I can't use because he said the N word had
Yeah, I've seen
150 million likes. He said, I said, who could win 100 brothers versus one gorilla?
I mean, I've been watching the clips from this, and it is pretty funny. People are overestimating how big a gorilla is, I think, a little bit, I will say. Like, if 100 people
in New York.
If 100 people jump on a gorilla, I do feel like the gorilla
He
would
could
be
beat the-
upset. But
Yeah.
he could be pinned. He could be pinned if 100 people jump on him. But
those gorillas could get those gorillas.
oh,
are
they
strong,
can.
too.
And honestly, you give
Harambe.
them enough maneuvering room, right? And now there's a problem. Now if it's one-on-one human gorilla, you go one at a time like in a movie, I think we're all toast. I think we're cooked at that point as mankind. We can't run one-on-one the gorilla. We can't even two-on-one the gorilla. It has to be 100-on-1. We've got to like huddle around him and then all jump at the same time. Otherwise, it's done. I that's my opinion. But we also got to get some big guys out there. You know what I mean? It can't just be like me and Jose.
Right.
That's not going to work. Me and Jose are going to get our absolute head caved in by the gorilla. He's going to hit me with Jose. Then he's going to hit Matt with me.
And I'm running away. You guys deal with that.
But we get some, I don't know, UFC guys, maybe a couple football players.
It's crazy how philosophical this question has come to some people. And Harambe's been discussed again. In fact, the kid who was responsible for Harambe's death, he has to at least be like what? In high school now?
Surely, right?
You'd think they would make a somebody went viral for basically saying, where did the dude who caused Harambe's death go? And you'd think like he'd have some social media or even have a CBS interview to talk about it, right?
Do you want to be known as the guy who got Harambe killed?
Well, it's your fault, so maybe
oh yeah,
I guess
I
not.
know.
I guess not. You don't want to
that.
be known as that, but
yeah, keeping that a secret. I'd be like, that's the thing you'll tell your kids when they get older. Be like, oh, what's a fun thing from your childhood? Oh, I got this gorilla killed, and everybody lost their mind.
I'll never forget that day for some reason. I remember it was like in the summer. I feel like I was in my home, but I remember that story.
I feel like this will be wrong, and that's fine. I don't know why, but in my brain, Harambe died close to when Kobe died.
So that was in 2016. I think Kobe died in 20.
So again, I knew.
I get 4 years,
but for some reason, my brain includes Harambe dying, and like almost like if like the people die in threes, celebrities die in threes. And for some reason, my brain has Harambe, Kobe, and Betty White in the same three, and I think they were all many years apart. And I don't know why that is. Maybe that's just my big three brain. Like, who are my big three impactful celebrity deaths? It's Kobe. I remember exactly where I was when Kobe died. It was Harambe, which I also remember. It was Betty White, which I also remember where I was. But for some reason, I thought they were all in the same year.
Man, Harambe, though, that changed the world. That really did. I definitely was
in the end times.
I was definitely Team Harambe when it happened. Now that's 9 years ago. Yeah, you just wanted the gorilla gone. Like my favorite Mike Francis clip of all time.
Gorilla.
Your child in there? Imagine if that was your child in there. You're going to have people who are going to say, wait a second, I'm worried about the gorilla. When your kid's in there, basically maybe seconds from having his head crushed. We live in a world now where you are going to be more concerned with the gorilla than you are the little boy. What's wrong with you people?
Oh, classic.
I mean, he
now
makes
I feel
point.
more. Yeah. I'm
If
worried
it was
about the
my
gorilla.
kid, I would want them to save it, even if it came at the cost of Harambe.
I
But it wasn't
want the
my
gorilla
kid.
to be okay.
It wasn't my
is
kid,
funny.
and therefore I'm allowed to wish the gorilla didn't die. Now, I don't want the. I mean, I'm glad the kid is okay. I think anyone who says they would prefer that they let Harambe just like toss the kid around, that's crazy.
Yeah,
and like
it-
those are the people who take like a good thing and they make it stupid. And there's
Bars-
too many of
that's
you on the
Barstool.
internet. Yeah, right.
Barstool, they did that. They went hard for those Harambe shirts and stuff. And I also love.
I feel like
I'll
they
play
could have
it.
also, like, maybe grab a net or something to just hold Harambe back, give him food. I feel like you give a gorilla food, he's fine. He's like, oh, I'll eat that while you get this kid out of here. You know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah.
do think there was another option. I don't know if sharpshooter needed to be the first thing they tried with Harambe, but maybe. I wasn't there. I don't know what kind of animal Harambe was. I mean, I know what kind, but I don't know
I wonder
what
how
temperament
many
he had.
dogs and cats in this world are named Harambe.
I wonder how many kids are named Harambe.
Oh God.
We named everybody Khaleesi for a long time.
Named
There are
what?
people named Khaleesi in this world.
Khaleesi from the
No,
what's it called?
Those are people fucked in the head for that.
Well, they're for the what's it called? Game of Thrones.
I know.
I don't watch
You have
that,
to
so I
just like 2 months after the baby is born. It's like I really named this kid Khaleesi.
I mean, names are names. You could be Kelsey. You know what I mean? Like it's spelled weird enough. You just call yourself Kelsey,
Dummies.
like Travis does.
Last but not least, you ever see Gorilla beat his chest? I love this
No.
TikTok. Last Gorilla related thing. Dude, I'm just chilling. He needs to inflate air into his sacs.
Okay. Well, that's what that is.
It would be nice if he did it to the camera, but that's pretty cool, huh?
It'd
You
be
saw
nice
that?
if he had a little more stage presence, but no. I mean,
Nah, bro,
I'll
we
be
definitely
honest.
losing that 100 man versus 100 gorilla easily.
I'm about to say, I'm
You saw
gonna
that?
amend. I'm amending what I said at the beginning of this segment. I'm gonna use the Jane Goodall defense. I'm gonna tell the gorilla our plan. I'm gonna turn on the 99 other guys. Now it's me and this gorilla versus 99 people, and I think we got it. I think we've got it in the bag now. I'm Team Gorilla. I'll let the gorilla take me back to his gorilla home. I'll make him dinner if he wants. Yeah, I'm going full Jane Goodall. I'm gonna live with the gorillas because I don't believe 100 of us could take that guy down.
Yeah, right? You saw that, huh?
Yeah, he was quick. I mean, you have to surround him. He's quick. You know what? We get Braun Breaker in there with a spear early.
Man, I even think he would throw his ass like 100 feet.
I'm saying early though, like he doesn't see it. You know, he's looking at Jose and looking at me, and out of nowhere, spear from Braun Breaker. And now we all pile on while you know what I mean. I think that
Yo.
might be our only chance.
The funniest part about Braun's reveal being a Paul Heyman guy, when he took his shirt off, he threw it and it landed on the ropes. All right. While we talked about one meme, let me show you another meme. We have an explanation of this famous meme, Ben Affleck being stressed out smoking. We actually have an explanation on this. So Ben Affleck was on the Theo Vaughn podcast last week, and he went into some detail about that meme and other reasons why he always seems so annoyed and upset when the paparazzi come through. Pissed off.
Like
if you
being in
will.
Hollywood or doesn't like being in Hollywood, I guess.
There's things I really like about it and things I really don't like.
Yeah.
Right. And I wish they didn't have to be together, but they are. Right. Like it's kind of life. You got to take the good with the bad. But I really like making movies and I like telling those stories. And so, I deal with it. There's things I don't love about this business. A lot of them, it can make you kind of crazy. And there's stuff that's just no fun for me. Like, events and shows and stuff like that. Some people really know how to have a good time. I wish I did. I wish I was out there like, great, we're going to hit it. And I'm going to, you know what I mean? Like as if I had that attitude, I'd probably be happier about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. I'm always trapped inside of myself. Like some people were like, you don't like being in a crowd. I'm like, I have a crowd inside of me right now.
There's a crowd in my head is busy
dude,
enough.
I got
Right?
30 people in here and we're out of hors d'oeuvres. So I got enough fucking problems on the interior right now. Cause they always get pictures of you where you seem like you're like the dwarf that like is kind of like like the backup dwarf, you know, like you're on the side, you're smoking, you're like,
what is that guy? I don't know that character, but
Like, you're like,
is he pissed?
I think he's a little pissed. Yeah, he's an understudy.
He's the understudy dwarf. Okay.
And not dwarf, like you're a regular heighted guy, but it's like, and I shouldn't have said dwarf. I shouldn't say anything, but it was like, I don't know. And it's like they only put this chronology out of you that makes you seem like you're kind of bummed.
Well, here's the thing. When somebody's taking a picture of me, I'm bummed because usually I'm with my kids. I'm trying to go somewhere. And then there's 4 guys. We're like, hey. And I'm like, hey, man, every time, can you give me some time? I'm trying to be with my kids. Do you mind? Can you know what I mean? So the look on your face is kind of like, and then they go away, not taking the picture. You go inside and you're having a good time. But it's this selective experience of like, take a picture of somebody every time they're feeling irritated. They're going to look irritated.
Especially if you're the one irritating them. It's hard to know.
I will say,
Vaughn.
I want to say, and I don't love this about myself. When he said dwarf, I knew what he meant because there's a version of that meme where they make progressively smaller Ben Affleck smoking and put it next to each other, and it's like, you know, me, like my little brother, like it's like I know exactly what he meant, and I'm really upset that when Theo Vaughn said that, I was like, oh yeah, and then Ben Affleck's like, what are you talking about? You're not a dwarf, and I'm like, oh my god, I understood what Theo Vaughn said, like perfectly clear. My mind, I didn't even have to think about it. I was like, yeah, obviously the dwarf picture, and everybody else was like, what do you mean he's normal height? And I was like, oh my god, me and Theo are on the same wavelength, and that is not a compliment for myself. Might be for Theo, I guess. I don't know, but I don't know that he cares either way.
Bro, Theo Vaughn, I'm telling you, he really is soon going to be the most popular podcast in the whole world, even overtaking Rogan. He had Mark Zuckerberg on today.
I mean, Rogan has had Zuckerberg too, yeah, but
true, but Theo Vaughn's more accessible, if you will, like on
right
a
now
mainstream level, you know?
I think so too.
While
I think so right
I love
now,
Rogan,
especially.
I love Rogan a lot, but you know, at this point, he's bringing out CIA this, conspiracy theory that.
He dove a little deep into that group that Theo Vaughn did the interviews with Vance and all them, like he did all that stuff too, but he didn't like dive headfirst into it like Rogan seems to have done. He did. He's like, that was a cool, and then he moved on to talk with whoever was next. Ben Affleck.
I love Theo Vaughn.
And Affleck looks old.
He is old.
Yeah, he's been around for like 30 years.
Yeah, he's got to be 50, right?
Used to be hot.
I think if
I
you
feel
went
like he
into
looks
50-year-old men,
similar,
he
man.
would still be hot, actually. I think that's just because you don't like 50-year-olds, which is fine.
I like 50-year-old. Oh no, let me tell you.
You just talked
Hudson.
about how weird, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ben
Affleck
weird,
is 52.
weird anatomy here for old guys, so I don't know.
Ben Affleck is 52.
A Shirley balls. That's it.
Well, you don't think Ben Affleck does? Care to comment?
Does what?
You heard me. You know what I'm talking about.
Has shrivelly balls?
Right.
I feel like all men have shrivelly balls.
Oh, okay.
They're
All right,
balls.
enough
Like-
testicle talk. I've heard enough testicle talk. So we can move on to other things, right? So, see from Blue's Clues, right? As our featured
Perfect
photo
transition.
of the day, right? So Steve from Blue's Clues was at some event somewhere, and this is a very short clip, but I just wanted to show Steve's impact in this world doing a speech somewhere. Just look at the great Steve from Blue's Clues.
You are why Blue's Clues was so special. You did all the work. You found all the clues. You solved all the puzzles. You wondered. You gave the gift of your attention. You listened. And when I needed your help, you were there. You showed up, just like you did today. And I'm sure that that's why, that even though I know that I'm speaking to a room full of strangers, it doesn't feel like that. It feels like talking to an old friend.
You know what's amazing about that? How quiet that whole crowd was, full of young people. Like, he really has an influence on a whole generation like that. I think that's amazing.
Yeah, here's my thing. Here's my pitch. Ready? You got a conclave coming up soon. I don't know, but if this is a Catholic man who's been baptized, that means he's qualified. So Pope Ryan, official conclave endorsement is for Steve to be the next pope. Why? We need somebody who's going to have the love and care of Francis. Clearly, that's Steve from Blue's Clues. All those people listened to him. He talked, and it sounded kind of like a prayer anyway. Let's just be honest. You were thinking it. I was thinking it. So that's my official Pope endorsement, Steve from Blue's Clues. We have a TV star as the leader of the free world. Now I want a TV star as the leader of the spiritual world as well. That's what we need. Unless he's not Catholic, but even then.
I'll sign off on that.
I hope
Keep
you're
it
right.
going.
I hope you're right. He's not the next Bill Cosby, but we're good.
He'll be fine.
Don't ever compare Steve from Blue's Clues to Bill.
Well, the way
Cosby.
he talks, Jesus Christ, he's like freaking trying to
I
seduce
thought
me.
he was a child predator, wasn't he?
No, he went to college.
Who am I thinking?
You're talking about
of?
Jared from Subway.
Yeah,
you
that's
you
what I
two
got.
should be ashamed of yourself putting those words to Steve from Blue's Clues.
Jared from Subway. I don't. That was crazy that you were like instantly like, no. Obviously, you meant Jared from Subway. Those are very
Just
different things.
any white dude.
What does
just
Jared
white dude
from
like that.
Subway look like?
Yeah,
A white
that's-
dude.
seriously, he's a
I don't
white
want
guy
to talk
dressed
about
in
these
sandwiches.
people. Seriously. Oh my god.
I thought he was a
Disgusting.
child predator. I'm sorry.
I mean, look real quick. I mean, I doubt he is.
Give me some holy water, please.
Well,
That's why I was
You know what-
confused why you would want him to be a pope. If he's a child predator, why would you want him to be
You
a
got to
pope?
do your research,
Like, I
Allison.
know-
Steve from Blue's Clues did not. No, he didn't. Oh my god.
Led to resurfacing of rumors that he had circulated about. Okay, I see it here.
No, don't bring it up. Literally, don't. We're not talking about that.
No,
shit.
no, these are all
even
conspiracy
rumor,
theories.
even conspiracy
Yes.
theories. No, nothing with child stuff like that.
No, it's not. Actually, none of them are child. It's other things about how he'd been replaced and like Paul McCartney from the Beatles, sort of thing.
Anyways,
but he's fine.
It clearly
and
doesn't
he's a good
matter
person.
because he could get a whole room full of people in this era quiet and actually focused. So give him credit there. All right, and now here's Hayley Williams walking. I don't have I'm upset, so I need 2 minutes. Look at her walk.
Whatever makes it break, but I got it where I want it now. Whoa, it was never my intention to brag, to steal it all away from you now. But God, does it feel so good? 'Cause I got it where I want it right now. And if you could, then you know you would. 'Cause God, it just feels so. It just feels so good.
Okay, I feel a lot better now. Awesome script
Who
walk
was the
by Hayley
person
Williams.
with her?
I don't know, some dude.
Okay, I was just like that. They were dressed the same. I thought that was interesting.
Yes. All right, let me talk to you all. Let me talk to you all about one of America's most popular authors, from what I gather, an author that is on the rise. Allison, Jose, and Ryan.
J.K.
Are you-
Rollins? When I
What?
guess
On the rise. Yeah.
Anyways, are you all aware of Quan Millz?
No.
Oh, you are going to be now. Quan Millz is an author. He's a fiction author, and he's genuinely a big deal in book talk and in urban fiction specifically. These are some books that Quan Millz has written. His TikToks get millions of views, and I am going to Goodreads to show you this guy's bibliography, and the names of some of these books are truly the funniest titles I've ever seen in my life. From Old Thought Next Door, this hoe got roaches in her crib, pastors eat pussy too, the coldest
Wow.
thug ever, a thug rise, my psycho baby daddy, this got a small dick, this hoe got roaches in her crib, episode
Episode
2.
2. That got a
Pregnant
sequel.
by my gay stepdaddy. This got a small dick too.
That got a second one too.
This hoe got roaches in her crib, episode 3, the
The
finale.
finale.
Mama's tears, CNA thoughts, Project Hoe dreams, my psycho baby daddy 2, the finale. My baby mama's a loser, tax season thoughts, crack hoe dreams, the dope fiend's daughter, full standalone, hoe is life,
We've got
Thoughts 2.
We've got to be staggered lead here. Surely,
Crack Ho Dreams 2. Project Ho Dreams 3.
ratings.
Lil Mama Selling Pussy. The
Full
coldest summer
standalone
ever.
on that one.
The first regular title we've seen. The coldest
That might be the
summer ever.
only one I would consider reading.
This Ho Eat Chitlins. Big Dick Energy. Gutter Ho Dreams. My boyfriend beats me, but I still love him.
That's the name of the book, huh?
Finesse Queens. Project Ho Dreams. This is a real person, by the way. I gotta go one more.
Confirm this?
Oh, you'll see.
Honestly,
I got this. I got this
Honestly,
already.
it feels like game is game writing these books.
No, you'll see. You'll see. Don't worry. I have this broken down. My when a bad bitch and a savage link up,
An urban romance standalone.
Gutter chicks do gutter things. Tatiana.
I would read that one too, probably.
Mama's tears. My bad white bitch. Thug karma. CNA whole dreams. Your mama's on crack rock. This is what real bitches do in urban
romance.
Seriously.
The next one that we didn't see was actually a ratchet novella.
A ratchet,
So
yes,
I would love,
Ugly Ho, a ratchet novella.
So I would
we
love
have
to
somebody.
read a ratchet novella. This feels like American fiction, Stagger Lee, man. Am I wrong? Is that what this is?
Don't worry, I will show
Okay,
you
okay.
everything. Let me show you the the other clips I have. Like I have this Twitch streamer explain Quan Millz. The video's called Quan Millz is my Langston Hughes.
Oh my god.
One time he wrote, Frequisha have roaches in their crib with wings so big they look like they flew other critters first class to Dubai and shit. Shakespeare ain't never said that. Y'all be talking to me about some Ernest Hemingway. Hey, move on with that. Because you know what? It's excellent satire and comedy, bro. Like, who else could write My Baby Daddy's a Bedbug from Space? Only the mind of Quan, bro. Because the thing is, he might have a master's in creative writing. He probably tried to write serious poems and, you know, like classical literature and probably studied that, but knew that you get attention by pretty much just writing Tubi movies. And he's working that lane. He's creating new genres. Ratchet hood,
ratchet novella,
space fantasy. That's something I'm gonna buy an Audible. I'm gonna buy it. No, I like that. Quan Millz.
Oh my god! Why don't we continue? So, this is Quan himself. We're gonna look at 2 instances of his actual Instagram of him reading excerpts. You know, like if you go to an author reading excerpts at Barnes and Noble or something.
If he sounds like me.
This is Quan Millz, by the way. It's a hard picture, but this is for My Baby Daddy Leprechaun.
Oh my god!
Yo, that's Quan. You can see vaguely
in the
right
tiny
here.
corner, yeah.
My Baby Daddy
That
Leprechaun.
needs to be told about a trifling ratchet whore who tried to steal me gold.
Oh, he's doing the accent.
And when a bitch tried to give me a glitch, I didn't give her a stitch. I just left her in a ditch. My Baby Daddy is a Leprechaun by me, international best-selling author Quan Millz. I guarantee you all, you are going to absolutely love this hood fantasy horror novel. Yes, hood fantasy horror. You heard that right, hood fantasy horror. Something never done before. My Baby Daddy is a Leprechaun. Go ahead and give me a follow here on TikTok.
Let's see another one. How about pregnant by my granddaddy's boyfriend?
Give me, you digging in the nigga. Don't stop. Don't stop. The moment I heard that shit, my whole body locked the fuck up. It felt like my heart exploded inside my chest. 1 second I was standing in Granddaddy Earl's closet trying to grab a charger I left behind, and the next, I was witnessing the most twisted, vile, stomach-turning betrayal I could have never imagined in my worst motherfucking nightmares. I pressed my hand over my mouth hard, trying not to scream. My knees damn near gave out. and my stomach twisted so
Please notice, this
violently
is
I thought I was about to throw
170,000
up all
likes
over his fancy ass
alone.
dress shoes lined up on the floor beneath me. Through the closet slats, I saw everything, and I mean everything. There was my granddaddy, my grandpappy, my mother's daddy, the man who practically raised me balls deep inside of Antoine. My Antoine, the man I love, the man I fucked raw last week, the same man who told me I was his queen and had me out here looking at rings on Etsy and baby bassinets on Pinterest. And now he was bent over my granddaddy's bed, gripping the sheets and taking dick like he'd been doing it for years. My granddaddy Earl, clean-cut, proud, respectable Earl, was behind him sweating like a linebacker, hips snapping forward with force like he was putting in overtime. His grunts were low and ragged, his hands locked around Antoine's waist like he owned every goddamn inch of him. You like that, boy? You taking this dick like a good boy. Oh, yeah. Throw that boochie back on me. Earl growled, pounding into him like he ain't had arthritis in both his knees. You love that shit, huh? Yeah.
Oh man, I'm telling you, this is a real author, international best-selling Quan Millz, and the reactions from you guys. And let me say one thing. Let me say one last thing, because a lot of people don't think this guy's serious, and he addressed the unseriousness, and that's the last clip I'll show. Then we can discuss. But somebody asked, "Are you employed?" And he responds with this.
Are you employed?
This is Quan
You're
Millz.
literally commenting on a video that has 1.5 million views where I'm selling thousands of copies of a book. One out of many books that I've written, by the way, that are published all over the world on Amazon. They have thousands of reviews. Thousands. I'm not making this up. Do you not know who I am? Are you?
I'm Team Quan Millz.
I mean, that didn't prove he wasn't joking.
Well, I mean, you want to look at his I mean, I showed you the bibliography.
No,
so,
yes, no.
I could not
everything he said
listen.
is
I could
technically
not
true.
listen to an audible if he was the one reading it.
No, that made the reading it made it better, actually.
See, this is the official Amazon profile right here. Most popular. This hoe got roaches in her crib. With 1,000 reviews. Like again, this is a real person.
No, I mean, it is a real person. We've seen him. We heard
What's
him.
the pastor one? What did that say?
The pastor? Which one?
Go down.
Pastors eat pussy too.
We've actually that one is interesting to me.
Pastors eat pussy. I bet it does.
Especially for Quan Millz.
By the way, just so we know, his actual X handle, which is just author Quan Millz, but it says international best-selling author Quan Millz. That's the name that displays on Twitter if you look him up. International best-selling author Quan Millz.
Is he a best-selling author?
He has certainly said that he is. He's got an NPR profile.
Exactly. You're trying to debunk him.
I'm not debunking. I'm learning. Matt, I saw the man and I heard that wonderful leprechaun thing he said. He's real. I have to go to sleep tonight knowing that he's real. I'm just trying to understand.
He's the reason why I mean, that's the mystery. And as his TikTok keeps growing with books like This Hoe Got Roaches in Her Crib or My Baby Daddy's a Leprechaun, we have to figure out more about him, the mystery of Quan Millz.
His first, Millz commissioned his first book, by the way, and this one was titled Ran Off on the Plug Twice. But he said that, they're all self-published. He does not have a publisher. Oh yeah, no, you be self-published. That's not I mean nothing. But he said I decided to try to experiment with different titles that were like very on the nose, very controversial, salacious, that I just knew would just grab people's attention, and it worked. So that was his plan, was to make the titles. Well, you've heard the titles, and it worked. He was right.
Which was your favorite?
I mean, I like that they had the what's it called? Like they had that trilogy, that first trilogy that we saw. I thought that was good. Tatiana, I think frankly I would read Tatiana just to see what it's about. I wouldn't pick it. I don't pick urban fiction typically, but you know, if someone said you got to read Tatiana, I probably would pick it up and try. Why are you laughing? That's a great name. That's much better than My Daddy Got My Girlfriend Pregnant or whatever the heck we just listened to. Or no, I don't understand how that happened, by the way, because it sounds like everybody involved was a guy. Pregnant by my granddaddy. That confused me. See, or you know, but his second title, by the way, was My Bad White Bitch. So there you go. That's crazy. The book earned him somewhere in the neighborhood of $10,000 in 2 months. My Bad White Bitch did.
Oh man. So wait, and I think, you know, we'll see if Tubi makes these movies.
You know, someone should get that book to Bill Belichick.
Yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
could do.
That's a great stocking stuffer.
The power of book talk, right? The power of book talk. All right. So the last thing we'll talk about one last time, or well, we'll do it many more times, but let's end it with more Raging Italian, because we got every single time. I'm just a fan. Like this one where he pretends that he is an imaginary friend.
Always fucking busy. What's up?
Right now, it doesn't look like you're fucking busy.
All right, what?
No, someone's over. They want to meet you.
Who?
My friend Schmidley.
Who?
Hey, come here.
Schmidley? The fuck kind of name is that?
Say hi.
What are you talking about?
Say hi.
To who?
He's right here. What are you talking
There
about?
ain't nobody. What are you, a fucking jerk off? Where's your fucking friend?
Schmidley, say hi.
Schmidley?
You didn't hear that? Are you fucking, like...
Are you fucking hallucinating?
Are you okay?
Schmidley there? First of all, what the fuck kind of name is that? And who the fuck are you looking at and talking to? What are you on fucking drugs, hallucinating?
Why are you so loud?
Oh, no.
Because you're aggravating me. I'm fucking sitting here on my phone.
No, he asked why you're so loud.
Who?
He asked why you're so loud.
Who's he? What, you got a fucking imaginary friend? Is there something mentally wrong with you?
Nothing wrong. There
ain't nobody fucking here. You're a fucking moron, dude. You're a fucking
Oh my
moron.
God,
Was he
you
a
grabbed my
ghost?
fucking leg.
What do you got, fucking Schmidley the ghost with you? Are you fucking kidding me with this bullshit?
It's okay, Schmidley. We'll go somewhere
You know
else.
what? You got fucking issues. You better go. I'm gonna fucking sign you up for a fucking psychiatrist.
No problem.
Hey, very progressive of the Raging Italian to do therapy.
Right.
That was good. I like that. Angry dads, get your sons in therapy if they need it.
Right? Or I'm investing in a new Wingstop location.
Oh, God.
Later.
Well, hold on. Why, you leaving already? I didn't even fucking tell you
I
yet.
gotta fucking go, dude. What?
Okay, well, I gotta fucking tell you something good. My new
Again,
venture.
What?
My new fucking venture, dude.
Your new venture? You know what? Every time you fucking, these ventures and fucking ideas, it's like fucking the battiest, fucking wildest,
No, this one's
craziest
a good
fucking
one.
ideas you come up with.
Well, this one's a good one.
Remember the
It's not-
fucking time you told me you were going to start a landscaping company and
Yeah,
use
well,
my
this one-
fucking lawnmower?
Yeah, this one's a lot of
You
money
can't
to
use
be
my
made.
fucking lawnmower.
Okay.
It's not a commercial grade.
Okay, well, this
and you
one-
cut grass like a fucking blind man. You fucking always go opposite on the tracks. What? Well, tell me a fucking new venture.
I'm investing in a new Wingstop location.
A new Wingstop location.
Lots of money to be made.
Do you know how much fucking money you need to open up a franchise? Do you know
Actually,
how
not
much?
that much.
It's like fucking hundreds of thousands, if not $500,000. Who the fuck told you?
That's not what I got told. This website told
You're
me.
a website?
This
They're
website-
fucking scammers.
He told me if I deposit $5,000, I could open a new Wingstop
Are
location.
you a fucking idiot? I didn't raise the fucking Dunsky. You're gonna
kinda
blame
did.
some fuck. You know what? You're gonna believe
Why is
some
your hand in
fucking.
your pocket,
You're gonna
dude?
believe some fucking guy on the website saying, "Give me $5,000 and you'll own a fucking proud owner of a
Yes,
Wingstop."
Wingstop. They're not
You're
gonna-
a fucking moron. Go talk to Guru. He'll fucking tell you how much he fucking spent to open that place. gonna fucking see you later.
Hold on, why you leaving already? I didn't even fucking.
Last but not least, I'm adopting you.
I came to realize I figured it'd be a good part for this family. You were the last option, so I really had no choice, but I guess I'll adopt you.
What? I'd be a good choice for the family?
Well, not really. I'm just saying that.
What the fuck are you even talking about? I'd be a good choice for the family. What the fuck does that even mean? What the fuck are you talking about?
You were the last option at the adoption.
The option for what?
I'm adopting you, dude.
You're gonna adopt me? I'm your fucking father, you fucking jerk off. What do you mean you're gonna adopt me?
I thought we were done with the hallucination thing.
What are you fucking talking about?
They told you to stop that shit, and you're still doing it.
What the fuck are you talking about hallucinating? What the fuck is wrong with you?
What's wrong with you?
You're gonna adopt me?
Well, now I'm.
What am I, a fucking kid in an orphanage? I'm a fucking. There's something wrong with you,
Well, now I'm
dude.
second guessing it.
Second guessing what?
Adopt. I don't know. Maybe you're not the right fucking match.
You know what, asshole? I'm not the fucking right. You're a fucking jerk off
This
with
yelling
this bullshit.
shit has got to stop.
Telling me you're gonna adopt me. How do I not fucking yell? You're a fucking jerk off.
I was thinking about it.
I feel like I recognize that company, by the way. I won't say it on the show, but I just saw his shirt.
There you go. There you go. Always a good laugh there. Always a good time with Ryan, Jose, and Allison. We'll see you throughout the week with more productive conversations, and please have a great rest of your day. Thanks again, Ryan, Jose, and Allison.
See ya.
Yeah.
Bye.